Good morning, dear students. Today I want to read for you lecture about medical helminthology. First, I want to ask you how you listen my information. Please write in for me this. How you listen my information? Now I see 41 students which listen my material. I hope during 5 minutes we can see more members which have interest into medical helminthology. Good morning, wake up more quickly and more quickly participations in our interesting lecture. Okay, 50 students, more fast on to our lecture. 52, good morning, 54, 58, more fast, 60. Today lecture I prepare for students of second division. So on second division we have 10 groups. Minimum must be present more than 130 students. Now only 60. Time of our material on. Good morning all students and all peoples which have interest into medical helminthology. My name is Svetlana. Today I want to show for you lecture medical helminthology, phylum Nemathelminthes, class Nematoda. If you remember, in second semester we study parasitology. Parasitology part contain 3 big phylum. This is medical protozoology, this is medical helminthology, and this is medical arachnoentomology. Medical helminthology part is very important to students which study medical biology on first course and for students which study infection disease. So if you remember all helminths, we can divide it by 2 big phylum. First phylum, this is Helminths, and second phylum, this is Nemathelminthes. For Helminths phylum, character 2 classes, class Nematodes and class Cystodes. This week we finished study parasites from class Cystodia, and next week we have holidays. Then after this week we start classes of nematodes. So during today's time lecture I give for you new information, and sometime we can back to our previous information, and you need to understand what's principal difference between parasites from phylum Helminths and Nematohelminthes. Many nematodes is parasites which important to human. During today's class, we take information about Ascaris lumbricoides, Enterobius vermicularis, Trichocephalus trichiurus, Necator americanus, Ankylostoma duodenale, Strongyloides stercoralis, Wuchereria bancrofti, Loa, Dracunculus medinensis, and other parasites. Material I prepare for you many. I want to give for you general information about phylum nematodes and class nematodes. Then I want to describe for you information about every one parasites. So for parasites of class nematodes, important double names. Example. Ascaris lumbricoides have different name. This is roundworm. Enterobius vermicularis have different name. Pinkworm. Trichocephalus trichiurus, whipworm. Trichinella spirale have not synonyms. Then hookworms. This is Necator americanus and Ankylostoma duodenale. Tradeworm, Strongyloides stercoralis, Filaria nematodes. This is Wuchereria bancrofti, Loa. Genoform. This is Dracunculus medinensis. Class nematodes contain many human parasites. On this diagram, you can see more important parasites for human, and big part of this place participations Ankylostoma duodenale, 66%. Then hookworms. If you remember hookworms, this is Ankylostoma duodenale and Necator americanus. Then Strongyloides stercoralis, 8%, Enterobius vermicularis 4%, and Trichocephalus trichiurus 1%. This is diagram show really these parasites is very important for human. On this map we can see how parasites from phylum Nematohelminthes located on the map of Earth. We can see only 3 colors on this map. In center, we can see red color zone. This is place where level of infection to nematodes parasites is very high. Then pink color region have middle level of infection. And other part, yellow color, this more north countries have problems with nematodes parasites too. If you remember our practical classes, every time teacher asked you general character of any class. So if you tell about today class, I want to give for you information. Remember previous information of phylum Helminths and phylum Nematohelminthes. Helminths parasites have 2 classes. This is class trematodes and class cystodes. For this parasite character plate form of the body, but for class nematodes character round form or cylindrical form of the body. Then very interesting character which we can see first in class nematodes. This is present body cavity which was absent in phylum Helminths. Muscular system is very high developed, but skeleton absent, same with phylum Helminths. Digestive system have new form. Digestive system have mouth and have anus. Neurosystem have simple form. Circulatory system and respiratory system absent, same with 2 phylum Helminths. Excretory system have same structure but 2 nematodes parasites, character absent, flame cells. Reproduction. In reproduction system we can see very big difference. All parasites from phylum Helminths was hermaphrodites. You remember only schistosomes have separate sex, but for all nematodes character separate sex. We can see male and female. For roundworms we can see interesting specific. Female usually have bigger size than male. All nematodes we can divide it by two groups. All nematodes can infection human of egg or larva, or can penetrate skin or mucous membrane by larva. All parasites usually we can divide it by three different groups. This is geohelminths, this is biohelminths, this is contact helminths. Geohelminths, this is group of parasites which have intermediate larva stages which developed in the soil. Example, Ascaris lumbricoides, example, Trichocephalus trichiurus, and other parasites. Biohelminths, this is parasites which can develop only in intermediate host. Example, Phastola hepatica, example, Diphyllobothrium blatum, example, Taenia solium, or other parasites which in life cycle have one or more intermediate host. Contact helminths, this is other group of helminths which infection human during contact. Very important part in study of new class. This is information about life cycle which corrected to roundworm. In life cycle, present adult form, present egg stage, larva stage divided by rhabditiform larva and filariform larva. Adult parasite usually located in the body of final host and produced eggs. For eggs of parasites from class Nematoda, character round shape, rough surface, and have next protein covers. Larva, rhabditiform larva and filariform larva, two types of larva which character to nematodes parasites. Filariform larva, this is usually infection stage. If we take question about habitat of nematodes, we can divide it all parasites to intestinal nematodes and blood and tissue nematodes. For intestinal nematodes, character soil transmitted helminths and other. Then to blood and tissue nematodes, character Filaria and Dracunculus merinensis. So all parasites from class nematodes, we can divide it to intestinal nematodes. This is Ascaris lumbricoides, this is Trichiurus trichiura, Enterobius vermicularis, Ankylostoma duodenale and Nicator americanus, and Strongyloides stercoralis. Tissue nematodes, adult or larva stage, developed in the tissue, example, this Trichinella spiralis. Filaria, this is Wuchereria bancrofti or loa. In this table you can see name of more important helminths, numbers in millions, and a place where usually distribution these parasites. For parasites of class nematodes, character geohelminth type of developed parasite. So adult form usually located in the final host, then we can see developed which happens usually in the soil. First, our parasites which we okay, we back to our information. First parasites which we describe, this is Ascaris lumbricoides. Disease which caused this parasite, ascariasis. Geographical distribution, this is cosmopolitan. This parasite have morphological specific female have size near 25-40 centimeter in length, but male have near 20 centimeter in length. For these parasites, character separates sex. Final host is man. Ascaris lumbricoides is geohelminths, human infection to fecal oral alimentary shape. Infection stage, this is eggs. Localization in the human body, this is usually small intestine, but larva of this parasite can develop in the liver, lung, or heart. On this slide, we can see morphology structure of the male and female. Female usually have more big size of the body. Male have spiral shape of the posterior part. This is really form of the male and female parasites. For Ascaris lumbricoides, character, interesting structure of the mouth part, anterior. This parasite have 3 lips, 2 fixation and 2 sucking blood from human. If you remember, in finish of semester, we will pass biological exam. So on this slide, you can see morphological structure, cross-section, female and male. Male and female have typical structure. For female, character cuticle, then muscles layer, then reproductive system which contain ovary, uterus with eggs, and intestine. For structure of the male, character same structure, cuticle, then layer of the muscles, intestine, and testes. Life cycle of Ascaris lumbricoides is very easy, but for this life cycle present many interesting specific. Adult human infection when swallowing eggs of these parasites with contaminated water or contaminated food. These eggs move to human digestive system, and in small intestine this parasite transformations to larva. Then larva penetrates wall of the small intestine and then move to liver, to heart, and then to lung. In the lung developed rhabditiform larva, which during 2-3 weeks transformations to filariform larva. During this time, patients have symptoms same with pneumonia. One of these symptoms for pneumonia character, this is cough. During cough, larva, filariform larva, can move to mouth, and human can use swallowing this filariform larva, which then move to small intestine, where growth to mature form and start produced eggs. Ascariasis, this is disease which cause Ascaris lumbricoides. Ascaris lumbricoides can locate it in human body in the lung. This is character to larva stage and cause symptoms which character to lung. Adult form usually located in the small intestine, and formation symptoms same with diarrhea, blood stool, vomiting, and other. If we tell about laboratory diagnostic, we need remember too many helminths important. This is structure of the eggs. All species of the parasite have different shape, different size, and different structure of this egg. For nematodes, character 2 types of the eggs. This is, sorry. This is fertilization's egg and unfertilization's eggs. Laboratory diagnostic which correct to ascariasis disease. First, this is check stool examination where we can see different fertilizations eggs, or sputum examinations where we can check larva stage. Next, important parasites. This is Trichiurus trichiura. This is cosmopolitan. This parasite correct to humans which living in hot area. Prevalence of these parasites 80 to 90%. Habitat, this is coelom or first part of large intestine. Human can infection to Trichocephalus trichiurus way to swallowing contaminated food which contain eggs. On this scheme we can see structure of the female and structure of the male, and structure of the egg for Trichocephalus trichiurus. Trichiurus trichiura, whipworm or Trichocephalus trichiurus have very easy life cycle. Infection stage, this is egg. Human can swallowing this egg with contaminated water or contaminated food. Then this egg move to intestine where developed in the adult form. Adult form after copulations between male and female. Female start produced eggs which with feces move to environmental. We can see two parts in life cycle. First part happening in the man body, second part happening in the environmental. Laboratory diagnostic, this is examinations of the feces. Prevention and control, this is washing your hands before meal. This is properly cooked. This is treatment of patient with this infection. On these schemes we can see photo of eggs of Trichiurus trichiura. These eggs have specific shape and brown color. Next, members of class Nematoda, this is hookworms. To these parasites, more important, only two. This is Ankylostoma duodenale and Necator americanus. Ankylostoma duodenale cause disease ankylostomosis or hookworm disease. Ankylostoma adult, this very small parasite, for male character size near 1 centimeter, for female size 1.2 centimeter. Ankylostoma duodenale located in the small intestine of the human body and suck blood. To Ankylostoma duodenale character interesting structure of the mouth cavity or oral cavity which contain teeth which help attach to mucosa of the small intestine. This parasite every time changing place for bite and every time sucking human blood. This formation is very big problem to mucosa of the small intestine wall. On this photo we can see mouth cavity of Ankylostoma duodenale and mouth cavity of Necator americanus. For Ankylostoma duodenale character 4 teeth, for Necator americanus character 2 plate in the mouth cavity. Eggs for Ankylostoma duodenale, this is 60 to 40 millimeters in the size, oval in shape, shell is very thin and colorless. Usually inside of this egg we can see 2 to 8 embryonic cells. After fertilization, in these eggs start developed rhabditiform larvae. On this scheme you can see life cycle which character to Ankylostoma duodenale. Human can infection by two way. First way, this is penetrate skin and then move to bloodstream, and second way, then swallowing egg with contaminated food or water. More important, more interesting, this is way when parasite larva penetrate skin of the human and move to bloodstream. With human blood, this parasite first time move to liver, then to heart, then to lung. And after lung, where formations cough for human, this larva move to mouth cavity and human can swallowing this larva. When I give for you information about Ascaris lumbricoides, I told for you larva of Ascaris lumbricoides migration in the human body from small intestine to liver, then lung, then and in the lung developed during 3 weeks because need changing larva stages. Ascaris lumbricoides larva move to lung on stage rhabditiform larva. Then during 2 or 3 weeks rhabditiform larva developed in the lung and need have oxygen to transformations to filariform larva. When we tell about larva of Ankylostoma duodenale, so infection stage, this is filariform larva. And this is filariform larva move to lung because for this filariform larva important move new to human small intestine where it can develop in the adult form. Adult form move to small intestine. After fertilizations, female produced eggs which with feces can move to environmental and then life cycle can close. For this parasite laboratory diagnostic, this is check in the stool of the human eggs of the parasite. On this scheme we can see structure of the egg. This egg have very thin membrane, and inside of this egg we can see 2 or 8 embryonic cells. Prevention and control for this disease typical, this is individual prevention and social prevention. On this table we can see what's principal difference between Ankylostoma duodenale and Necator americanus. This is short parasites, but for these parasites character difference geographical located. Necator americanus, this is parasites which usually located in American continent. On this photo we can see mucosa of the small intestine and Ankylostoma parasites which attach to mucosa of the small intestine. Next, our parasites, this is Strongyloides stercoralis. Geographical distribution, which character for these parasites, this is Africa, Asia, South America. Over 50 million of people are infected by this parasite. Strongyloides stercoralis, this is typical nematodes, and for these parasites, life cycle, important same stages. This is adult form, this is larva, this is egg stage, and this is 2 form of the larva. This is rhabditiform larva and filariform larva. For this parasite, character specific in the life cycle can be two forms. One form when in life cycle present human or other intermediate host, and second variant, this parasite can be free living organism. Here on this diagram we can see adult which located in the small intestine and produced eggs. Then we can see 1, 2, 3 ways. From this ways human can infection from this parasite. Clinical manifestations, diarrhea, abdominal pain, and many other symptoms. On this photo we can see picture how on the skin located parasite for Strongyloides stercoralis. Clinical manifestations, character different symptoms. First form, this is light infection, usually go asymptomatic. Then can present skin penetrations and symptoms which character during migration in the lung and in the duodenum. Laboratory diagnostic, this is larvoscopy in the feces. Next parasites which character to class nematodes, this is Enterobius vermicularis and Trichinella spiralis. This is parasites developed without soil transmissions. Enterobius vermicularis have different name. This is pink worm. For pink disease which cause this parasite, enterobiasis. Distribution, this is cosmopolitan, but these parasites more character to child, usually until school age. Morphology, adult female worm near 10 mm in length and male until 5 mm. Located, this is low part of the small intestine or upper part of large intestine. Eggs have specific morphology. This is transparent and colorless, asymmetric, which have size 40 to 60 μm. On this photo you can see female which have straight shape and male which have spiral shape of the tail, and this is very important morphological character. If in microscope we can see straight shape of the body, this is female. If we can see spiral shape of the posterior end, this is male. For Enterobius vermicularis, eggs specific less color and asymmetric shape of these eggs. Life cycle is very easy. For this parasite, character auto-infection. I told for you infection character for kids with contaminated food or contaminated water or contact with hands. Eggs of these parasites can move to mouth cavity. During digestive system, these eggs move to small intestine, then large intestine, were developed in the adult form. After fertilizations, male usually dead and female at night move from anus, and around anus lay eggs. These eggs female glue to specific substance. During this time, kids feeling itching in this region. After contact with this place, eggs of these parasites can move on the nails of the baby. Then in the mouth, when children have breakfast, these eggs can new move in the body of human. I want set for you interesting detail in morphology of this parasite. During 6 hours, these eggs can be infection. This is very short period in life cycle of parasite. Enterobius vermicularis cause disease enterobiasis. Infection usually corrected to children under 12 years of age. Laboratory diagnosis, usually stool examination. Prevention, this is personal hygiene. On this slide, we can see eggs of pink worm egg. I want set for you information when you start preparing to exam. In the exam questions, you can see pink worm name of the parasite. You don't see Enterobius vermicularis. So when you work with material of this lecture, you must be very attention. In start of lecture, I told for you, every parasite have two name, and you need remember to name. If in exam questions you can see pink worm, you need understood this is Enterobius vermicularis, and then you need describe morphology of this parasite, describe life cycle of this parasite, and give other information. Next parasite which don't develop in the soil, this is Trichinella spiralis. This parasite have other name, pork worm or Trichinella spiralis. In life cycle of these parasites can present 1, 2 or more hosts, and we cannot divide this host by final host or intermediate host. This parasite can develop in body of many different animals. Very interesting detail, female can produce many eggs in short period. Every time you need remember about classification. For Trichinella spiralis, kingdom Animalia, subkingdom Metazoa, phylum Nematodes, then genus Trichinella, species Spiralis. Full name, this is Trichinella spiralis. This is round worm. Male size, this is 1.5 millimeter. Female size until 3 millimeter. On this map you can see place where can develop this parasite. This is muscles tissue which contain many larvae of Trichinella spiralis. Life cycle of these parasites is very easy. These parasites from muscles can migration in body of one parasite to human. On this scheme we can see muscles tissue, and inside of these muscles we can see spiral form of the larva of Trichinella spiralis. Next parasites from today lecture material, this is filariasis. Filaria. Different filaria parasites can cause filariasis. Usually these parasites located in the warm countries. On this map you can see place where can located these filaria parasites. Tissue nematodes, Wuchereria bancroftia. This is a parasite adult located in the lymphatic nodes. Infection stage, this is filariform larva in the mouth part of the mosquito. Vectors or intermediate host, this is mosquito Anopheles or mosquito culex. Mode of transmission, bite of mosquito having infection filaria form. Disease, microfilariasis. Diagnosis, this is microfilaria in the blood film. Disease, lymphatic disease or elephantiasis. Morphology of Wuchereria bancrofti have typical for class nematodes. In the life cycle, present human and present transmit animal. This is mosquito from class Anopheles or class Culex. We can see different symptoms which character to Wuchereriasis or elephantiasis disease. Larva stages and adult form, blocking lymph in the lymph node, and size of the human legs can every time formations bigger form. On this photo you can see really people which have elephantiasis disease. Next parasites which need our attention, this is loa or eye worm. Loasis usually character to areas of African equator region. Morphology, female organism are 60 millimeters, male to 35 millimeters. Final host is human. Vector, this is deer fly. Human can infection by this parasite when fly sucking blood, and with salivary of this fly human can take larva stages. Loa have as a name eye worm. On this photo you can see human eyes and can see adult form of this parasite. Next parasite which have which present in the class nematodes, this is Dracunculus medinensis. Dracunculus medinensis length between 60 to 120 centimeter, so near 1 meter. This parasite's geographical distribution character to warm countries. Life cycle of these parasites usually very easy. Human can drink water contain infection cyclop. Cyclop move to human digestive system in the small intestine. Larva of Dracunculus medinensis start move from human tissue to legs. During this time, female fertilizations and start produced larva. For these parasites, no character eggs. This female of these parasites lay living larva. In place where located end of the female body, formations bubble on the human skin and very itching this place. When human put leg in the water, this bubble skin is broken and to water move many larva stages. This is larva can affected cyclop, and we can see new life cycle of this parasite. I give for you general information about morphology of parasites from class nematodes. And now, very important material about eggs of all parasites, which we studied during second semester. Eggs of all parasites is very important, and every student and every infection doctor need know specific size, coloring and shape of these eggs. On this slide you can see name of parasite. Example, Phastola hepatica have size and character for egg of this parasite. Many parasites present on this slide. Then next slide contain only photo of egg and name of the parasite. Next slide contain informations about next eggs, short information and scheme of structure of this parasite. This very interesting photo because this is exam photo. This is egg of Ankylostoma duodenale. If you remember structure of the egg, very thin shell of this egg without color, and inside we can see more than 2 embryonic cells. This is egg of Schistosoma mansoni. Schistosoma mansoni, this is trematodes parasite. Schistosoma mansoni parasite have egg which close and have one big lateral spine. On this photo we can see egg of Phastola hepatica. For Phastola hepatica eggs, Phastola hepatica, this is typical trematodes parasite. For this parasite, character egg with cover. This egg can opening and miracidium can move outside of this egg. Next, this is eggs of Diphyllobotrium latum. Diphyllobotrium latum, this is cystodia, but have shape of the eggs which have same structure with trematodes. On this photo we can see egg of the Taenias. We don't understand this is egg of Taenia solum or Taenia saginata. On our practical classes we told diagnostic stage this is mature segments which have different number of lateral branches of the uterus, but egg of Taenias looking same with this photo. Next egg, this is egg of Enterobius vermicularis or pink worm. This is egg without color and this egg have asymmetric oval shape. Next photo, this is egg of Ascaris lumbricoides. Ascaris lumbricoides egg have protein shell. This is one egg which have rough surface. Next egg, this is egg of Trichocephalus trichiurus. So I won't set for you. This is exam photo. This is egg of Ankylostoma duodenale. This is egg of Schistosoma mansoni. This is egg of Phastola hepatica. This is eggs of Diphyllobotrium latum. This is egg of Taenia solum or Taenia saginata. This is egg of Enterobius vermicularis. This is egg of Ankylostoma duodenale, and this egg of Trichocephalus trichiurus. So on these schemes you can see life cycle of today parasites. I hope in your free time you can back to these my schemes and remember material which you take from my today lecture. Prevention, this is first golden rule to medicine. Prevention and control, then treatment of the patient. And in finish of my lecture, I want said for everyone, students which present today, thank you for attention. good health for you. I hope next time you can see my lecture material, my practical material in YouTube channel. Goodbye, good health for you. Ну, я не знаю, я на что-то нажала.